Hello everyone and welcome to Van Tech Corner. In this video, let's take a look at the youyeetoo's X1 SBC. So this tiny SBC is powered by the Intel's 11th generation N5105 CPU. It is a quad-core CPU, and yep, this is the box. So let's unbox the device and see what do we have. Alright, so before we move inside, let's take a look at the label. So we see that it is 8GB and 128 GB of eMMC storage version. Besides, you do have some option for 4GB and 16GB with different choices of eMMC storage. Alright, so let's open it up. At the very first place, we have this SBC right here. It should be the X1. Okay, so yep, here it is. Let me just unbox and see what do we have inside this ESD shoe. Alright, so we can see that it is very tiny. It's just the size of my palm, as you can see. Alright, so this is the SBC. We just put it aside and take a look at the accessory first before we go into the details connection. Yep, and basically that is all you have. The SBCs and the 12-volt 3A power supply. Yep, totally 36 watt. So if you purchase this single box, you will have just the SBC and the power supply. youyeetoo team also sent me some other accessory to use with. So one is the metal casing. So right here is this X1 metal casing. Let me just open it up first, and after that we will check it out. We have the front, I believe. This is the back of it, and then the two panels for the rear side for sure. Another metal stick, not sure what it is, and lastly some screws. Alright, okay, so let's put everything aside. Okay, let's put it aside first. So beside the SBC and the metal casings, youyeetoo also sent me this 7-inch DSI display. So you can see that it is a MIPI 7-inch LCD. The resolution is 1024 multiplied by 600, and it's using DSI connector. So it is compatible with the Raspberry Pi's the Orange Pi, I assume. Alright, so here it is. We have some acrylic panel, and then we have some FPC or FCC connector, one with a lot of pins and one is smaller. Alright, so after that we have the string. It is very beautiful. Very tiny, and you can see right here we have two connectors, one for the big FPCs, another one for the small FPC cable. So it depends on your main computers whether it support this one or this one. And lastly, we do have some jumbo wires so to connect here. And here we have, let me take a closer look, we have SDA SCLs, and then LCDs, then GND. So I believe this one should be for the controller as well as the power supply. So basically you will need to supply the power into this one, and I believe this should be connected to the X1 SBC in order to use it. So we will put aside the LCD and we will touch it later. Now let's take a closer look at the youyeetoo's X1 SBC before powering it on. So right here you can see that we have a Gigabit Ethernet port followed by 4 USB ports, 2 USB 2.0 and 2 USB 3.0. And then this should be the fan connector, and you can see it is connected to the active cooling fan. And then next to it you have the GPIO header followed by SPI, and the blue one the I2C. The white colored is UART, and then it is USB 1 and 2. And on this side, this white connector right here is the LED connector, and this one, the yellow, is the speaker connector. This should be a power button, 3.5mm audio jack, a full-size HDMI port, LED indicators, and the DC power connector. This one is the barrel connectors, and this is the DC power terminal. So on this side we have the reset buttons, a very small one, a tiny onboard microphone, micro HDMI port, the PoE header, micro SD card slot, another PoE header, and this one, the small connector here, is for NFC antenna. Alright, so at the back, let's take a look. So at the back, this one is the MIPI DSI for display port. This one is the small connector for SATA adapter. And here you have two M.2 connector. This one right here is PCIe X2 and for SATA SSD. And this one is the M.2 for wireless, let's say Wi-Fi or 5G module. Alright, so this is overall all the connector. And I believe I forget this port is it RTC for a real-time battery clock. And this one is a microphone for external microphone. Alright, so it's pretty basic connector. And down below this heatsink, you will have the Intel's N5105 CPU, the eMMCs, and the RAM module. It is pre-soldered. Alright, so we cannot change it. Now I'm going to power on this module. It has built-in eMMC, so I believe the OS will pre-installed. So in order to test this, I will have right here the power supply. It is 12 volt 3 At the same time, I will be using the HDMI monitors. So youyeetoo do send me a MIPI 7-inch display, but I will leave it for another video. So in this video, we'll just test out this HDMI monitor first. At the same time, I also have this USB keyboard and mouse. So everything is ready for the test. Let's connect them up. So let me connect the power supply and see what is going on. So very good, we see the fan spinning and there was some outputs on the HDMI port. Let's see what is that. So we see that the fan start to spinning and we see the Intel logo just now. It will line it up. So let's see if the OS is there. Alright, Intel's inside. Press Del for BIOS setup or F7 for boot menu. So we can see that window is loading. You can see from here. Let's wait for it. Just a moment. Yep, sure, no problem. So I can see that the fan is spinning with speed that is not really high. Perhaps the CPU temperatures is not that high. Okay, it's just a little bit warm, not too hot. Alright, so Windows 11 will pre-install. So okay, so I will just go to the setup process. So select the country. So I'm going to scroll down and select my country. So I can see that there was some lagging by using this wireless mouse. but I hope that it's just a temporary problem. Alright, so I select the country, press yes to continue, and then it's asked me to select the keyboard. So English, so I will go with English. United States, where it says US. Okay, just go with US. Skip. Accept the terms and conditions. So my name is VmWare. The password, let me specify. So password. Alright, confirm the password. Okay, it asks me to specify the security passwords. What your first pet name? Next, so it will be VmWare. Alright, so okay, so need to specify VmWare. What is the third one? What a childhood nickname? Okay, so VmWare. So I just want to get through the initial setup and show you what is going on first. Next, and then next. Alright, so a lot of questions. Yes. Just go with your file setup and see. Accept. Alright, I have accept all the term. So just a moment. And let's wait for it. Hi. Getting things ready for you. Let's wait for it. Alright, so we can see that it takes some time to pre-config. So we can see that it's taking some time to get the Windows 11 ready. Fortunately, I didn't connect Ethernet cable or Wi-Fi, so I still have very fast booting speed. Alright, so here we are, Windows 11. I'm not sure if this one is too high. Let me adjust. Let's see if I can adjust it. Alright, so this is Windows 11 running on the yooyeetoo X1, and to be honest, I haven't used Windows 11 for quite some time, so still a lot of new apps to me. But we can see right here we have a very basic configurations like control panel. Let me go to the about this PC and see. Alright, so we can see it shows here Intel Celeron N5105 at 2 GHz, and we have 8 GB of RAM installed. System types, we have 64-bit operating system, pen and touch, and things like that. Okay, so everything works fine on the first boot. There is no problem at all. We have the task managers. Go to performance. I can see the CPU, the switch is running at around 0.8 and 1.6 GHz. Utilization is 2%. We have 8 GB of RAM. We have how many gigabytes of eMMC? We have 128 GB of eMMC. And we can see that the average response time is 30 ms. This is not too low from what I can see. For GPU, we have this guy right here, Intel UHD graphic. Alright, that's very good. Alright, so just now I have connected the Ethernet cable to the yooyeetoo's X1 SBC and perform a reboot. So shortly after the reboot, I can see a remind message to finish set up the PC. But I will just click on remind me in 3 days and get into the desktop. Alright, so we have a lot of update. We have a notification right here. It said that we have so lots of update, and it's been installing and downloading. So we can see that the CPU fan keeps spinning because it is loading quite a lot. Alright, let's take a look at the task managers and see. Task managers, let's take a look on the performance. We have the CPU fully loaded, and then it is go up to 2.8 GHz. Alright, that's interesting to see. Alright, so I believe we can just leave it for some time. So that's all. The package will be updating and installed first. So it's looked like Windows Update has successfully downloaded the file, and yes, some of the files still loading, and we can see that the CPU load is around 52 or 43%, and there was some network connection as well. Alright, so now I'm going to open the Microsoft Edge browsers, and we are going to check out the Speedtest application. It will be speedtest.net, and let's see what is the speed we got on Windows 11 running on the youyeetoo's X1 SBC. Very good, let's go. Alright, so we are running at 850 and 60 Mbps download, and we can see that the fan start to spinning. It is because we are using the web UI, the Microsoft Edge for the testing, not the application, not the native app. That's why it's used a lot of graphics processor as well. But in overall, we have very good throughput. We have, let me see, 873 Mbps download and 868 Mbps upload. Let's have a quick check with fast.com. And I assume it should be good. Alright, 1.5, 10, 110, 190, 400, 500, and it is going to reach 620. Wow, that's very fast speed as we can see. So it's look like the result is stay as 530 Mbps, and it is now doing the uploading. So the same on upload, we are having 560 Mbps via the Ethernet connection. We have yet to test the Wi-Fi so far. Alright, so that is a fast speed test, and now let's check out the OpenGLs and see what is the performance. Now let's check out the FitTank's OpenGLs and see OpenGL. I'm not sure if it is correct. Yep, let's check it out. So usually I should done the test with Google Chrome, but since I only have Microsoft Edge pre-installed, I will test it with Microsoft Edge. Alright, so WebGL Aquarium, we are running at 60 FPS for 500 fish. Let's move to 1000 and see. So when I change to 1000, I can see that the fan start to spin, but the FPS maintain 60. Very good. Let's go to 10,000. So with 10,000 fish, we are having around 26 FPS, and the fan spins and become louder. Let's move to the next level, which is 15,000. So the FPS drop to 20, and the fans continue to spin. Alright, so overall I can see that the performance of OpenGL is very good. So lastly, I will have another quick test for YouTube. So let's go to youtube.com, try searching to get started. I will change the resolution to 4K, go to full screen, and let's go start for neck. Alright, so we can see that the view font one drop up to 260. So far there was only one frame drop and everything is working fine. There's no problem at all. Perhaps the screen resolution here is too small. That's why we don't see any problem with the frame. But I can say that in overall this performance is really good as we can compare with all the SBC. Alright, so playback is still working fine. The only problem is with this little fan, it keeps spinning every time I click on something, or it keeps spinning when the CPU loads becoming high. But in overall, it is doing a good job by keeping the CPU cool. Alright, so that's what a quick unboxings, hands-on overviews, and quick testings of the youyeetoo's X1 SBC. And in the next videos, I will try to connect this youyeetoo X1 with the Wi-Fi module, and we're going to test that out. And there will be another video show you how to install the 7-inch MIPI touchscreen displays with the youyeetoo X1. And if the time it allows, I will test out the Proxmox on this N5105 SBC because it has 8GB of RAM, 128GB of eMMCs, and have expansion for M.2 for SATAs or NVMe and another SATA SSD, which will be good for running some lightweight virtualization. So that will be all for this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.